Originally, I didn't have a video idea for the past couple of days, considering my Judas Priest retrospective album career. I made that a couple of days ago. Please check those out on my videos. I didn't originally have an idea. I did have an idea of reviewing Impact's Hard to Kill that I did see. A short review here. It was good. There were some matches that were borderline stupid, like that whole Karate Man versus Ethan Page cinematic match. That is bar none the worst, and that's saying a lot. That was just bad green screen effects. It was completely stupid. You guys might hate me, but the Bar Massacre match between Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards was so boring. I was just bored by it. Best match on that card, tied between the main event of Kenny Omega and Anderson and Gallows versus Moose, Sabin, and Rich Swann. Shelley was going to be in the match, but he got taken out, I think. That was a fun match. It was a big fight feel. And Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie was a great match. Some of the mid-card, it was fun. I mean, Violent by Design, that's a pretty good stable. They had a solid, old school 6-man tag with Rhino, Cousin Jake, and Tommy Dreamer. So overall, it was solid. I give it like a C- because there were some matches I didn't care about. But I saw Raw a couple nights ago, and I had to make this video. This is borderline just dumb. This is most likely going to be a rant. So kick back, grab a snack, joined by your loved ones, family members, your girlfriends, boyfriends, your pet turtle, I don't care. Sit back and relax and enjoy me scream about how awful the WWE product is, starting with Monday Night Raw. This show has been degraded for years and years, and I need to clean my glasses real quick. Unprofessionalism. Make sure you practice it. Or don't. Unprofessionalism is not good. Like Shawn Michaels in 2005 against his dream match against Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam. Yeah, that was professionalism times 20. But besides that, Raw has been so obnoxious. We're talking 1995, 2009 era of bad. 2020, I kind of give it a pass, considering that they were on the right track, but then the pandemic hit, and they were at least trying. There was an attempt made. These last few weeks, there was no excuse for how terrible this is. Raw Legends Night was an absolute dumpster fire. Drew McIntyre's out due to COVID. He won't be back. He's going to be facing Goldberg at the Royal Rumble, which no one cares about. And I love Drew. Goldberg, his time is way past. But I give him credit for at least, trying to get out a couple more matches before he eventually calls it quits. I can respect that, but come on, Goldberg. You're way past your prime, dude. You were great in WCW, and guess what? WCW died 20 years ago. It's not worth it at this point. The whole tag team division is drier than a frickin' oasis. And I'll talk about the NXT tag team division. Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing 3 brands. Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Raw I might go on a little bit of a tangent about, because this is a lot to unfold here, folks. The mid-card's exceptional, but it's still dumb. The main event, I have no idea what they're doing in the main event. The women's division is so thin. The women's tag team division, there's basically none. Just bad overall product. You got The Miz and Morrison, who could do good comedy, are doing dumb comedy. You got Elias and Jackson Riker, of all people, who should not be there. If you guys know, then you know. No one wants him there, except Vince McMahon, because we don't know who he works for and who he's friends with. Yeah, I don't care if I lose subscribers for that. Because you know what? I've had it up to here with the whole bullshit. I'm about done with it. Seriously. And I don't like to use language. I really don't, but I've about had it with it. It's such BS. It's bullcrap, and it's so nonsensical. The whole Riddle situation, why is he there? There's no money to invest in him. No money. If the allegations are false, then he's not interesting. You got Keith Lee, who hasn't been there in weeks, because Vince McMahon doesn't think a talented big man that can do cruiserweight things isn't impressive enough. So he has to go do heavyweight stuff, which Lee can do, but let Lee do his own thing. Hell, if you bring in Jeff Cobb, you're going to basically do the same thing, and it's dumb. Retribution, one of the worst stables. You have Diomatic, who's green, but he can be improved on. He hasn't evolved much, but he can. You have T-Bar, a.k.a. Dominic Dijakovic, who's one of the best big men on the entire indies, and you have so much money to invest in him. You're putting him in a Bane knockoff mask. Seriously. That is so ridiculous. You have Retaliation, who wasn't there, who was Mercedes Martinez, who thankfully left the group and go into her NXT stint, which I think she's going to be feuding with Io Shirai, which is good because I like Mercedes and I like Io. You have Slapjack, who's Shane Thorne under a terrible Jason Voorhees hockey mask. Seriously, it is so cartoonish and childish. Shane Thorne is not charismatic or has no personality, but he can work in the ring. You have Mustafa Ali, who's one of the best cruiserweights and possibly one of the best talents, and you make him the leader for no goddamn reason. You have Mia Yim, aka Reckoning, for no apparent reason, who has seizures as a gimmick. It does nothing, and it insults the people who have actual seizures. Seriously, WWE, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, whoever came up with that needs to be slapped in the face. Seriously. That is so ridiculous and so borderline offensive. But WWE has done more offensive stuff. I mean, for God's sakes, they did a whole Muhammad Hassan. I'm about to say Muhammad Hassan for some reason. The whole Muhammad Hassan thing with The Undertaker, where they had terrorist dudes choking The Undertaker with a piano wire, and it aired on the same day as the London bombs! The London bomb in the subway! The whole London bomb subway! What in the hell is going on? Seriously. That is so ridiculous. WWE, you need to wake up. Vince, step down. Bruce Pritchard, get out of here. Kevin Dunn, out you go. Because you are terrible at your editing skills. I seriously get nauseated every time that Kevin Dunn does a quick switch. Like, we'll be right here. Oh, we'll be right here. Oh, we'll be right here. Ooh, pretty things. No, we don't need that. We need compelling wrestling. We need compelling wrestling and a good product to watch. Seriously, hell, Impact's doing a little bit better than you. And they haven't been relevant in 5 years. Seriously. Well, I don't think 5 because they were still doing that whole stupid Destination America. Probably 9. 9, 11, 10, whatever. They have been more relevant than you have. And you've been here for, I don't know, let's see, 30 years. Seriously. 30 plus years. And you're letting a little TV show that's been there for nearly 20 be somewhat at least relevant. I don't get it. The whole Fiend Alexa Bliss Randy Orton storyline is complete ass. Randy Orton is in a fake El Santo mask or a fake Mil Mascaras mask because he feels the pain. Well, yeah, the only pain we get out of it is listening to a god-awful Randy Orton promo. And Orton can cut good promos, but this is not working whatsoever. This storyline needs to be dropped. It needs to be desensitized. It needs to be everything. Everything except greenlit. Vince has lost his goddamn mind, and it is ridiculous. That's all I gotta say about Raw, as far as I know off the top of my head. NXT, okay, you make a promising third brand that was white hot in, I think, 2014, 2015, all the way through the beginning half of 2020, and you just make it a bland, boring, and a comedy show, essentially. The comedy is atrocious. There's some bright spots, but my god, there is so very little. Women's division, it's solid at least. I mean, Io Shirai's a good champion. Rhea Ripley, whose momentum has halted ever since she lost her frickin' title to Charlotte Flair, of all people. Yeah, that was a dumb decision. Raquel Gonzalez, she's coming into her own. Dakota Kai, she's coming into her own. Shotzi Blackheart's good. Indy Hartwell, hell, even Candice is doing good. That kind of ties into what's the problem with NXT. Their characters are boring. Mainly the Garganos. You take Johnny Gargano, one of the best talents and one of the most profitable characters, you strip him down, water him to a point where he's swimming in a gene pool, and you make him unwatchable. Gargano can't work as a heel. This is not how you make him a heel. It is bad. Austin Theory, who I can give less of a crap about. Indy Hartwell is a great talent. Statuesque, striking. She can work in the ring. Candice is good. I don't care about these characters. They're in a dumb stable called The Way that, if it's a reference to The Way, that was dead 4 years ago. And I don't think it was invented 4 years ago. I just made that up on the top of my head. NXT Cruiserweight division was a bad decision. Horrible. Because there's no talents to be featured. The NXT Tag Team division is so dry. We're talking frickin' the Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert levels of dry. And they're doing the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic today. I'm recording this before NXT, obviously. They're going to have to pull out all the stops to make this at least somewhat tolerable. Because right now, it's not good. I don't have the problem with the tag team champions, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. They're a pretty good tag team. It's just that the division is so watered down and strict. I don't get it. Then they do the women's tag team division. There's only 4 teams. 4 teams. That's how little the NXT women's division is. The whole Boa Xia Li thing is completely stupid. Makes no sense. Pat Marina's ghost shows there for seems like years. And the whole Grudge ghost from the Grudge franchise shows up. Who has to be Mako Satomura? It has to be, or else it will make no sense. Boa, he's fine for what he is. Xia Li can work. Why are they doing this? I don't get it. There are some bright spots. Karrion Kross is back. Damian Priest is... God, he's great. Isaiah Swerve Scott, they may be going for a heel gimmick, which I'm all for, because he can work as a heel. Finn Balor, he does good for what he has. Undisputed Era is always great. Kyle O'Reilly is really shown as a great singles competitor. Pat McAfee, I don't know where he's been. They pulled him off TV. That was a horrible decision. Put him back on TV. Cut the greatest promos he's ever cut. I swear, he's cut from the same cloth as a Bobby Heenan or Jim Cornette or hell, even a Paul Heyman. He is fantastic as a promo. He can work in the ring. He's been pulled off for no reason, unless I have to look it up and see what happens. Pete Dunne, he's doing good for what he is. I do have to talk about the commentary, though. For Raw, Samoa Joe, Byron Saxton, and Tom Phillips, they're fine. Joe can go over the top sometimes, and Byron's just there, and Tom's trying to do the best, but it's whatever. The NXT commentary, I don't want to be mean, but it is inferior to Raul Manalo and Nigel McGuinness. Beth Phoenix, she tries. God bless her. I love her as a competitor. I don't know. Commentary, she's kind of 50-50 on. I like Vic Joseph, and I like Wade Barrett. I don't know what they're doing on commentary. I seriously don't. Vic Joseph, he tries, and so does Wade Barrett. I feel like they don't have an opportunity to give as much energy as they want to. They're like so just watered down and stripped. Mauro Ranallo had that energy and had that passionate. It was a very, very, very respected wrestling fan. People can say, oh, well, he was bipolar and all that stuff. No. First of all, if you think that's the excuse, that's what you get. If you're just gonna make that excuse for him being bipolar, no, that's not an excuse. He had his moments and he had his episodes. And I thank the Lord that Mauro Ranallo is still here. Because he had to, delete his social media and delete all of his Twitter and delete all of his Instagram and his Facebook. And I feel terrible for the man. Bipolar disorder is not a good disease. I've never suffered from it, and hopefully I don't want to suffer from it. And I have friends that have suffered from it, and I feel terrible for it because they can't do anything about it. They try, but it's nothing much they can do. If you think that's an excuse, then that is borderline dumb. If you think that's the reason why he's so loud, no, it's because he's passionate. He's a passionate wrestling fan. And if you think I'm wrong, please tell me in the comment section. Because I think I am wrong. I'm wrong most of the time, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not wrong about this, though. The commentary needs to step up their game and needs a little more energy. We're going to go to SmackDown now. Commentary is ass. Michael Cole is a terrible commentator. Corey Graves is worse. If you're going to make fun of someone that has a disease and a bipolar disorder and slept with one of your coworkers and left their wife who's been there with you ever since you suffered that fatal concussion and who has a child that suffers from autism, and you go to sleep with a coworker, that is so disrespectful and disgraceful. And Corey Graves, you should be ashamed of yourself. Completely disrespectful. I don't understand. Carmella is not even that attractive, in my opinion. I don't get it. Speaking of Carmella, she's put in a god-awful feud with Sasha Banks that won't end. With her Samar, or whatever the hell it's called, Reginald Thomas, who I have looked up. He has a pretty good talent, and if he goes in the ring and does that stuff, he could be a good talent because he's got, background in gymnastics and gymnastics and all that stuff. He could be a good talent, be, the flippy doodah guy. But that doesn't make up for the god-awful feud between, Banks and Carmella. Tag team division, there's none. Literally none. It's just Rude and Dolph Ziggler against the Street Profits. How many more feuds does Street Profits have? Dumb. So dumb. SmackDown is the more tolerable show, and that's saying something because SmackDown has been crap for years. Literal years. The storylines are good. Roman Reigns is the main eventer, and as the heel, fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. Character work, fantastic. Paul Heyman gives him backs him up. I feel like they might screw it up, though, and I don't want them to do that. Because it's not going to be good. Big E as a single star again. Daniel Bryan is helping the show, by the way. I think he's part of Creative Control, and he's a backstage producer, I think. Great. Shinsuke Nakamura, he's getting a turn that should have happened 3 years ago. They're just not doing it. I don't get it. Cesaro's coming into his own. Apollo Crews, he may be turning heel and possibly joining, Roman Reigns. All this stuff is great, And I don't have very many problems with SmackDown as much as I have with Raw and NXT. Just some of the things I just mentioned kind of what drugs it down. Oh, and also the whole 24/7 division. What else do I need to say about the 24/7 title and the whole comedy bull crap do I have to say that hasn't been said? It's bad. It's just horrible. Also, 205 Live, I never watch. NXT UK, I watch on occasion. They're doing good stuff. Walter and A-Kid had a... God, Jesus, that was a match. Their women's division is good. I like Piper Niven. God, Piper Niven is... Woo! She's a beauty, in my opinion. Kaylee Ray, she's doing great as champion. I think she's feuded with Jenny, because I think Jenny cost Piper Niven her match against Kaylee Ray, I think. It was in October, and I think it was a last chance Falls Count Anywhere match, I think. That was a great match, and I did not expect that, because I feel like Piper Niven should have won the title and then go on to feud with Jenny and all that stuff, but to each their own, I guess. Besides that, I mean, the Heritage Cup stuff was fantastic. I love that stuff. It reminds me of the ROH Pure title rule, the Pure rules that they did. That's great stuff. So, that's basically it for this video, guys. I know this probably came out of left field. This is something I had to get off my chest for a while. And frankly, it needs to be said. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content. I'm Boss LP6. Join the herd. I'll talk to you guys next video. Peace out.